Welcome back to MicroVerse. In the previous lecture, we learned about Robert Koch and his remarkable contribution to medical microbiology. We also understood that Koch demonstrated a direct relationship between microorganism and infectious disease. However, an important scientific question still remains. How can we prove that particular microorganism is actually responsible for causing a particular disease? Finding a microorganism in patient does not automatically prove that it is the cause of the disease. To answer this question, Robert Koch proposed a set of scientific principles known as Koch postulates. Let's understand these postulates one by one. Koch postulates are four scientific criteria developed to establish a cause and effect relationship between a microorganism and a disease. These postulates were published during the late 19th century and became the foundation of medical microbiology, infectious disease research, and diagnostic microbiology. Even today, although modified modern molecular techniques, the logic behind Koch postulate remain extremely important. The first postulate states that the suspected microorganism should be present in every individual suffering from the disease, but should not normally present in healthy individuals. The purpose of this postulate is to identify the microorganism that is consistently associated with the particular disease. For example, Mycobacterium tuberculosis is found in patients suffering from tuberculosis. If the microorganism is absent from diseased individual or commonly found in healthy people, it becomes difficult to establish a causal relationship. Then the second postulate states that the microorganism should be isolated from the disease host and grown in pure culture. A pure culture contains only one type of microorganism. This step is essential because it allows scientists to study the microorganism independently without interference from other microbes. Isolation and pure culture also helps identify the biological characteristics of the suspected pathogen. Then third third postulate. The third postulate states that when the pure culture is introduced into a healthy, susceptible host, it should produce the same disease. This is the experimental steps that demonstrate pathogenicity. If the microorganism consistently produce the same disease under control condition, strong evidence is obtained that it is the causative agent. Today, ethical consideration prevent this type of experiment in humans. Therefore, animal models or alternative experimental systems are often used. Then, fourth postulate. The fourth postulate states that the same microorganism must be re-isolated from the experimentally infected host. Furthermore, the re-isolated microorganism should be identical to the original organism. This final steps confirm that the observed disease was produced by the same microorganism introduced during the experiment. Thus, the complete sequence establish a scientific cause and effect relationship. So here, understanding the logic. If you look at these four postulates together, they follow a logical progression. First, identify the microorganism in diseased individuals. Second, isolate and grow it in pure culture. Third, demonstrate that it produced the disease in susceptible host. And finally, recover the same microorganism from the infected host. This systematic approach transformed microbiology from observation into experimental science. So instead of memorization the postulate separately, remember the sequence, find, isolate, infect, and re-isolate. This simple flow summarizes Koch's entire experimental approach and is frequently asked in university examinations. So, today's lecture answer an important scientific question. How can we scientifically prove that a microorganism causes disease? Robert Koch answered this question through his four postulates, which became the foundation of medical microbiology and the germ theory of disease. Although modern microbiology has identified certain limitations, the scientific reason behind Koch postulates remain one of the most influential concepts in microbiology. While Koch postulates revolutionized microbiology, scientists later discovered that not every microorganism follow this criteria perfectly. Viruses cannot be grown in ordinary culture media. Some pathogens infect only humans, and healthy carriers may harbor disease causing organisms without showing symptoms. This observation revealed that Koch postulates have important limitations. So, in our next lecture, we will discuss why Koch postulates are not always applicable and how modern microbiology has modified Koch's original concepts. Thank you. Thank you for the learning with MicroVerse. Keep learning, keep growing, and let's master microbiology one concept at a time.